The other piece with this that I really struggled with, and I think I've got to take a stance on from the county standpoint, is that since currently there's some litigation going on around your last proposal, I don't believe I can accept the application at this time.
Okay, so how do I push it forward if you can't accept it then? Does that just mean I have to?
I guess the only way you can do it is probably go in front of the Board of County Commissioners and tell them, I refuse to accept your application.
Okay, deal.
But I will also note that in my letter to you.
Okay.
So their strategy, Tom's strategy will be to keep it in litigation.
He's already said that.
Indefinitely so that we can never do it.
Yeah, I don't think that's Tom's strategy, but that's okay. That's not what I get from the commissioners meeting, but maybe that's a conversation that's taking place outside of that I'm not privy to. But I just feel as a county planner, I've got to do my job, and this is what I see as action I need to take from a planner's spot. It's not a personal. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I think what you guys want to do is great. I think the plan is great. I like what I hear you talk about, the people you want to help, how you want to go about that. Mm-hmm. I personally think it's a great idea. Now, do I think it's in the right spot? I'm not convinced it is, just because of private property rights. So it's something I keep bouncing back and forth on. You guys have your property rights, but there's other people that got their property rights as well. So, and there are county things in place to control that type of thing, and state statute to control it. And it's my job to try and follow that to what I feel is the right way to follow it for the county. So.
And what are the state statutes that would eliminate our being able to use that piece of property for agritourism, commercial overnight?
I believe access. I would have to. I'm not a lawyer, so I would have to seek counsel from the county attorney. We dive completely into that, or outside counsel if the commissioners agree. But I highly doubt they'd agree with that. So. They would require me to use the local resource.
Yes, so. The incompetent county attorney who recuses herself from everything because she doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah. Well, if she recused herself from this, then the county commissioners would have to allow me to go to outside counsel. So
she has repeatedly, so yeah.
But yeah, so that's where it stands. Like I said, I've done a turn all over this,
Well, it's like Adam Austinson said, it's NIMBY, not in my backyard. Everybody wants something, but they just don't want it in their backyard.
Yeah.
They don't care when it's the dump, when it's the transfer station. Doesn't matter what the public thought about that, because they wanted it, so therefore it was irrelevant what the neighbors thought. Now, because there's people who have a personal issue, which our current immediate neighbors have no problem with what we're doing. It's two people, Marty and Gary, and they literally aren't up against us. There's no reason for... Gary is here maybe 3 months out of the year. He's currently here, but he hasn't been here for 8 months.
Right, yeah. Well,
he's in Texas all the time.
Yeah.
So why he cares, I don't know. It's a personal issue. Has nothing to do with being objective or fair or following the land use plan. If they cared about the land use plan, they would have given us the findings of fact after our initial meeting with the county commissioners. But they refused to do that until the judge required them. And they've made it a personal issue. It has nothing to do with anything about the TPs. It's just what we've been told by Tom repeatedly is, if you would have listened to me when I told you in the beginning, then we wouldn't be here now. And that's not how government should work.
Yeah, what did he tell you in the beginning? See, I wasn't around when the whole thing went down.
They felt like we should have come and asked permission to put the teepees up. And we read the land use plan through multiple times, and it was the 2002, and there was nothing in there about us putting up teepees. So we didn't come and ask. But Phil Shield made the point, and a couple of times in meetings, that whether it's in the land use plan or not, they like for people to come and ask them, then they should state that on the website or on the land use plan. How would people know? They just randomly are going to call you about everything they do? No, that's why there's a land use plan, so that the people know what the rules are and they can follow the rules.
Okay, well,
They changed the rules.
I am going to make a statement here a little bit, just so you're aware of some facts. So, independent record, once a month, for the last at least 5 years, have printed a advertisement.
It was after us, though. That's why they did it. Because we're back in 2019.
I would have to go back and look.
Or 6 years back.
I have seen it back quite a ways. Yeah, I would have to go look and see when it started. And maybe that's when it did start, and if that's the case, then...
And they started...
We were in the meetings because I